Hey YouTube family, welcome in. Courtney here with Southern Owls. I'm so glad that you made it to my channel. I am doing a kit today from creekroad.net. I already did some preparations to the kit, like I already added in my pipe cleaners to this adorable 10-inch sign. So in this kit, you're gonna get the sign. You're gonna get this really cute gingerbread cookies. You're gonna get 2 rolls of mesh. So you're gonna get a red and white 10-inch roll, and you're going to get a green roll of mesh. In your kit, you're going to get the raised work form, and you're going to get 5 rolls of ribbon in this amazing kit. So you can shop this kit at creekroad.net. Be sure to use my code OWL10 for 10% off your entire order at Creek Road. So if you need other things at Creek Road, you can add those to your cart as well. And just have fun over there because they got a lot of goodies at Creek Road. So let's get started. So this is called a raised work form, and that's what we're going to be using today to put in our 10-inch mesh. So I did pre-cut my mesh this, let's say this morning, this afternoon. And so my mesh is cut at 20 inches. So you're going to cut both rolls, the whole entire roll at 20 inches, which should give you 18 pieces of the green and 18 pieces of the red. Guess what? There's 18 twisty ties on this form. So 1 green and 1 red is going to go in every single twisty tie. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to open up. I always like to pull up my twisty ties and just get them ready for my mesh. And we're going to add in this beautiful 10-inch mesh. And this is cut, once again, 20 inches, my friend, 20 inches. Both rolls, 20 inches. So as you can see, your mesh kind of just naturally rolls in, right, on each other. So we're going to use that to our advantage today. So I'm going to let the mesh naturally roll in, 1, 2, pinch the middle, and then I'm going to walk my fingers over to the other side. And this, my friend, is a cruffle. So you're going to have 2 curls and then a little ruffle in the middle. So I'm going to gather this in my hand, and I'm going to place this in between the tinsel ties on your work form. I twist them in about 2 times, just make sure that they're really nice and secure in there. So I started out with the green. We're now going to do the red. Same thing, 1 turn, 2 turns, pinch in the middle, walk your fingers over to the other side, maintaining that middle as best as you can. And we're going to go right next door to that green and put the red in. Now the green I did side to side. So the red I'm going to do up and down. And we're just going to repeat this pattern all the way around the top of the work form. So I always like to start at the top, but if you like to start at the bottom, that's totally okay also, guys. This is just how I've always done it. It's my pattern. And, you know, I've tried, one time I challenged myself and I said, I'm gonna start on the bottom. And it totally threw me off. So I always start at the top, and we're doing every other color and every other pattern. Or every other color, every other direction. I do cut my mesh on top of each other, so I'm just gonna unbundle it and then go in and do our cruffles. So the reason why we go different directions on the top is just so we're really getting that coverage. So I want to make sure that no one's going to see the wire, right? The base. I want to make sure that my base is hidden. So one lap around of the mesh, right? One time all the way around. It gives pretty good coverage, but that's why we have so many cuts, because we're going to go around twice. So the first time we're just doing that green and red cruffle method all the way around. Every other, just go right next door to the next twisty tie and lay that mesh right in. Guys, if this kit is sold out by the time you see this tutorial, they do have these items in stock, so you can go and buy the items as well and follow along with me. If something is out of stock, you can get something that's very similar. They have a lot of beautiful red and white mesh, a lot of green mesh. So if something is sold out, they do have some other options that you could add in. Okay, so now we're all done with the top. So we're gonna go around the bottom, and I'm just gonna open up that twist tie, and we're still doing that cruffle method, and just let it slide right in there. And we're going to do every other color just like the top, and we're still doing that cruffle method. Now on the bottom, I'm just going to go side to side. I'm not going to worry too much about where my mesh is on the bottom, because once we get that second layer in, it's really just going to naturally fill in on the bottom. So you're not going to have holes or anything like that. And once we get that second layer of once we get that second layer of mesh in our wreath, then we can kind of manipulate. If we do see a hole, we can kind of just move that mesh over just a little bit, so we don't have holes anymore. Guys, who has shopped at creekroad.net before? They are one of my favorite shops. They are also our supplier of my private group called the Double Troublemakers. So once you join my private design group, Double Troublemakers, you actually get 20% off Creek Road supplies. So the savings are definitely worth it if you do shop at Creek Road. It's definitely worth the savings to join in the group to get that 20% off coupon, because I call it girl math, right? I'm like, okay, well, you're going to save all this money with that 20% off, and in those savings, you basically get a free membership in the design group, right? Girl math. But not only, we don't just do design over there, we also teach business tips and tricks. So if you're a small business owner and you struggle with shipping, social media, growing, marketing, growing your business, we also teach that in our group as well. Whoop. So we would love to have you sign up over there. It's doubletroublemakers.com if you're interested. We'd love to have you over there. Okay, so now we are just almost done with the bottom. And then we will do that second layer on the top again. So we are moving and a grooving. Y'all, I am so excited. If you're new here, hi. I live in the Houston, Texas area, and it is finally feeling good. It's finally feeling a little fall. I call it Texas fall because if you're from here, 80 degrees is amazing, right? 80 degrees feels so much better than 100. So I'm excited that we are in those cooler temps just a little bit. Okay, so that's the first layer. You can see there are holes, and it's not fabulous. So now we're going to go around a second time. And now on the top, not only are we going to do opposite color, we're going to do opposite direction. So still that same cruffle method. I'm going to find a red and white. I'm going to put that green right on top, and we're going to do opposite direction. So that red is up and down. So with the green, I went in side to side. So we're going to do the same thing. The green side to side. So we're going to put that red right on top of it and go up and down. And same thing, guys, we're just going to go all the way around our work base. Oh my gosh, mesh just flew out of my basket. We're going to go all the way around and do the same. Oh my goodness. And do the same exact thing. I got to move those ribbons. That's the second time I snagged on it. Guys, if you are new to mesh, it snags. It's so funny. When I first started wreath making, I would wear whatever over here to design, right? And I learned very quickly, very, very quickly, not to wear certain materials over here because it would snag. And I was like, oh no, this is not what I wanted. And then I have this snag in my cute outfit. So that is why when you see me design over here on YouTube, I'm always in a shirt, normally like workout clothes, like a t-shirt type of deal, because I just don't want to ruin my clothes. Especially sweaters are really bad. Knit, yeah. Mesh, I call it mesh likes to eat stuff. Likes to eat stuff. That's what I always say. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's eating my ribbon. There we go. It's eating my clothes now. Oh, goodness. Okay, guys, we're going all the way around. We're almost done with the top. And then we will move right along to the bottom. Guys, I'm also really, really excited about Creek Road. They are getting all of their new inventory in for Christmas. So if you haven't checked out their website recently, go check it out because they are adding new items daily right now to their website. And it's really cool because on their website, they have a new arrival tab, which is really, really helpful. So you can just click on that tab, see what kind of new stuff they're getting in. And if it's something you're loving, add it to your cart. Okay, so now we are done with the top. So now I'm going to go around the bottom. And like I said, guys, we are just staying side to side on the bottom. I'm not going to worry about the direction of the mesh right now. And we're just going to go side to side and put that really nice and tight. Guys, little pro tip, you're going to want to make sure that those tinsel ties are really, really nice and tight while you're putting this mesh in, because you're not going to want your mesh to slip around. So just make sure that when you're putting that mesh into the twisty tie, you really push it down in there and twist those ties really nice and tight, because we don't want that mesh falling out when it's on your customer's door or your own door. Because you got to think, the wreath, even though it's on someone's door and they might have a little bit of an awning, right, to cover it, I mean, you still open and close your door, which is wind, or you might get a little wind from something as well. So we just want to make sure that it's going to stay nice and secure. All right, just twisting all of these in. We're almost done. Y'all are doing amazing. Thank you so much to everyone who purchased this kit. I'm so thankful that y'all are loving the kit. There's more coming too. There's more coming with Creek Road and the kits. We're already in the talks for November. So this is the October kit. We'll have a November kit. Super, super excited about all the things that are in the future. So stay tuned. Guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you over here full time. So just go ahead and do that, and you won't miss out on any of my tutorials that way, and you'll stay up to date. Okay, I gotta go grab that mesh that fell off. I'll be right back. Okay, I just went and grabbed that. We got two more pieces to add in. Ah! Okay, beautiful. All right, we have all of our mesh in now. See, look how beautiful that is now, y'all. That wreath be beautiful. Okay, so in your kit, you're going to get a 10-inch metal round sign. These are from Creek Road. They have so many in stock. So if you want to, in the future, if you love this, in the future, you can go and buy more signs from Creek Road. They also carry this, which is a jewelry hole puncher. So that is what I did. I put 4 little holes in my sign, and then I thread through the pipe cleaner. Okay, I just wrapped it on top of each other. So now I'm going to insert all of these pipe cleaners into my design, trying to figure out if I want the green to be up top. I think so. All right, so I always kind of just use these tinsels as a guide for my top and bottom. I put my hand underneath my wreath and one on top while I'm threading through these pipe cleaners, and I'm just wrapping around that pipe cleaner around my base because I want to make sure that this sign isn't going to go anywhere. And I'll show you the underneath in just a second. Let me get my sign in. Guys, you want to make sure that you're going through the mesh and not around it. All right, so see, here's my work form, and I am just threading that pipe cleaner around a few times so our sign stays in place. Same thing, we're just finding that work form and wrapping that pipe cleaner around that work form, okay? One more. You also want to make sure that you're not doing it too tight, but tight enough that the sign's not going to move around. Because if you do it too tight, then your sign's going to sink down into the wreath, which you don't want that. You know, you want your sign to sit on top of the mesh and not sink down into it, because then you'll lose the sign in your design. Beautiful. So now we're going to do the bows. We're going to make 2 bows, okay? You're going to do fabulous. You're going to do fabulous. So we're going to start off with the 2.5-inch ribbon. And we're going to do the bows that I do all the time. And we're going to lay that down. We're going to measure at the 6, give it a pinch, and slide it back down. We're going to do 5-inch loops. So that means we got to measure at the 10, because when we put them in half, right, it goes down to 10, it goes down to a 5-inch loop. We always want to make sure that we're twisting that ribbon once we make that connection up, so it is faced up on the right direction. Also, guys, these are my favorite pair of scissors I've ever owned. You can buy them at Creek Road as well. We're going to get that next ribbon, 6 inches. Just place it right on top. And we're going to do the same exact pattern, 2 5-inch loops. Just like that. And a 6-inch tail. There we go. Let's get that Gingy up next. 6-inch tail again, and we're just going to put it right there. And we're going to shrink down our loops to 4.5 inches. So we're going to measure at the 9, bring it together. I always like to start shrinking my loops down as I go, so we can see the ribbon behind it. We're going to this beautiful, I love this green glittered ribbon. Gives a little sparkle and shine. 6 inches again, and we're still doing that. 4.5-inch loop times 2. 4.5-inch loop. And then we're going to come down here with the 6. So you should have 4 5-inch loops, and now you should have 4 6-inch loops if you're on the bow maker, right? So now this is where this really fun little whimsy Swiss duck comes in. We're going to do a 6-inch tail with this one as well. And guess what? I'm going to shrink down those loops to the 8, which is going to make them 4 inches. And we're going to do 2 of those. And then I'm going to twist that ribbon over my thumb to make that cute little button center and do a 6-inch tail. I'm going to grab my cable tie. Thread it around where I'm holding it. I'm going to start it get it going. And then before we go all the way, we're going to thread through that pipe cleaner halfway. And now we're going to go in, get it nice and snug, and use my nippers, and we're going to cut off that extra. Now what I like to do next is I like just to twist it around my cable tie just a few times to make sure that that pipe cleaner is not going to slide around on me. Now we're just going to fluff out our bow a little bit, and we will save dovetailing to the end. Because guess what? We got to make another one. You ready, guys? Same thing. Ready? 6-inch tail, 10-inch for the loops because they're going to be 5, 5, 6. So 2 5-inch loops, 2 6-inch tails. We're going to do the same thing. Ready? 6-inch tail, lay that right on top. 5-inch loop, 5-inch loop. Gathering it all in our hand as we go. 6-inch tail. So once again, you should have 4 5-inch loops and 4 6-inch tails. Grab that gingy. Same thing, 6-inch tail. We're gonna add that right in there underneath our thumb. 2 4.5-inch loops with another 6-inch tail, like so. Grab the green again. 6-inch, 4.5-inch, 4.5-inch loop times 2, and 6-inch tail. We're going to come in with that really fun ribbon again, the red, and do another little 6-inch tail. And we're going to shrink down those loops to the 8, which was going to make them 4 inches, 4 inches. And then we're going to add that center loop where you just flip it over your thumb. Racetrack loop. Super cute. Twist that ribbon. I just wanted to make sure it's around the same size. Twist that ribbon so it's facing up and do another 6-inch tail. Thread that cable tie around where you're holding it and get it really nice and snug. Yeah, slip that pipe cleaner through. There we go. Get it nice and tight. Not too tight, but tight enough that all the ribbon's going to be held together. And then we're going to wrap around that cable tie again. So now we have 2 beautiful bows that are ready for our wreath. All right, we're just going to move all of this around. I want to make sure that the ribbon is looking awesome. And we're going to go ahead and dovetail all of those little ends. Ready? So we're just going to fold that ribbon in half and cut up at an angle. Fold in half, cut up at an angle. Fold in half. You got it. Cut up at an angle. Fold in half. Cut up at an angle. These I'm going to do diagonal cuts. When I'm using a smaller width, like a 7/8 inch or a 5/8 inch ribbon, I like just to angle cut it because I feel like dovetailing it gets kind of dicey because it's such a small little cut. Okay, one bow down, one bow to go. Ready? Here we go. Angle cut, fold it in half, cut up at an angle, fold in half, cut up at an angle. Now, if you don't love a dovetail, you can angle cut all of your tails, and that looks really nice as well. The reason why we angle cut or dovetail is just to make sure that that ribbon's looking nice and finished, right? Nice and finished instead of just a straight across cut. Fun fact, when Courtney first started wreath making, I didn't know that little industry tip yet. And then one of my hair clients saw my wreath. She's a wreath maker as well. She just does it as a hobby. and she was like, hey girl, you should dovetail. And I was like, what's that? And I thought it was duck. I thought she said duck, like quack quack. And I was like, duck? What do you mean ducktail? What does that mean? She was like, oh my God, she was totally cracking up at me. Totally cracking up. Okay, now that our bows are done, these are gonna go. I want to put them down at the bottom. I want to do one here and one here, but it would be really, really cute if you wanted to do diagonal bows. Would be super. Actually, now that I see it, I'm like, oh gosh, Court. In my head, I was like, we're gonna do them on the bottom, but now let's do a diagonal. You do what you want. I'm gonna do a diagonal bow. So I'm gonna do one down here on the bottom right corner. If the sign had corners, if it was a square, we would go down to the bottom right hand corner. Same thing with the sign, guys. We are just threading through those pipe cleaners through the mesh, making contact with the work form and twisting those pipe cleaners around. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love this wreath already, guys. We're not even close to done. We still have to add in our ribbon tails and our gingerbread cookies. This sign, guys, is so adorable, and I'm so thankful that Creek Road gave me this opportunity to design with it, because he is ready to have a fun time at Christmas. Like, you can just see it in his cute little smile. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I like to do is, like, when I put my bows on, I just want to make sure that my ribbon's not impeding with my sign. So that means I need to kind of like move things around a little bit. That's totally okay, guys. Totally, totally okay. So I kind of just bend. Also, guys, if you like get your bow on and there's a ribbon tail that's just too long over your sign, you can always just cut that ribbon tail down too a little bit. No big deal. Stop. Oh my gosh, he's so excited for Christmas. Okay, I already did pre-cut all of my ribbon tails. I did. So today we're going to need 8 of each ribbon. And I cut my tails today at 13 inches. 13-inch ribbon tails, 8 of each ribbon. Okay, so let's get these on here. I'm going to do the red with the green on top. We're just going to lay it right on top of each other. Find the middle. Give it a pinch. And then right underneath our bow, I'm going to put in these ribbon tails in our tinsel ties. Give them a few good twists. And once your ribbon is nice and secure, I like to separate my ribbon out and fan it out so you can see all the pretty, pretty layers of the ribbon. We're going to do the same thing. I love these 2 ribbons together. We're going to lay them right on top of each other. Give it a pinch. And then right next door, we're going to add in to our tinsel ties. And once they're nice and secure, we're just going to peel apart that ribbon. So stinking cute, y'all. And we're just going to keep on going with that every other pattern. So just lay it right on top of each other in the middle. Find the middle of both ribbons. Give it a pinch. And then twist it, twist it, twist it. And then fan out these beautiful, beautiful ribbons from Creek Road. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we are done with the twisty ties. Okay, so if you don't want the twisty ties showing in your sections, you can totally cut those off now. Okay, so once you put that ribbon in, we're not adding anything else in. So you can totally snip those off. I think they're cute. I think they add a little character to the wreath. I don't mind them. So I leave mine, for the most part, I say 9 out of 10 times, I will leave my little twisty ties on. I had one client in the past 4 years of wreath making ask me to snip them off, and that's fine. You know, this is her wreath. She paid for it, and I have no problem snipping those off as well. So that is just a little designer choice on how you want that to look. Guys, also beware, we are using directional ribbon for the gingerbread. So just, beware when you put the gingy on that he's the right direction and not upside down. Just be a little mindful of it, but oh my gosh. Stop! How cute is that, y'all? Okay, we're gonna go along the bottom. Same thing, we're just gonna marry these two together. Right on top. Find the middle, give it a pinch, and then add these right in. Is my brain braining? Green, red, green. Oh, because we skipped one. Okay, we're good. Sorry, my brain went a little kapootsy for a second. I had to process. Okay, on the bottom, y'all, we're still going to do that every other pattern, but I don't spread my tails out on the bottom. I just let them be. I just let them be on the bottom, and I keep them in a V. I let them be in a V. I didn't even read the rhyme. Oh my gosh. So silly. Okay. Here we go. Adding them in, twisting them up, being them out. Ooh, a little wired. Now, this ribbon is wired, and sometimes it pokes out a little bit, and you can just snip that off. Okay, we're just going around. Don't get confused, Court. We already did that. Here we go. And guys, as you're going around the base, what I like to do is just make sure that all of the mesh is meshing, like it's all together. There's no holes. So as I'm putting in these ribbon tails, I'm just making sure that everything is looking good down here also. So if I need to move some mesh around, I'll do it now, right? While I'm really looking at everything. So remember, these are cut at 13 inches. And there's 8 of each ribbon. 8 of each one cut at 13 inches today. And remember, we are using directional ribbon. So just make sure that your gingies, be a little mindful, even on the bottom when you're putting them in. Some of them are going to be half upside down and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing, unless you want to snip them, and that's a lot of work though. But for the most part, they'll be the right direction. Oh my gosh, he's so cute, y'all. Okay, also, I'm so sorry. Make sure your hot glue gun is on, or your glue pot. I forgot to tell y'all in the beginning. I'm sorry. Normally, I'm pretty good about that. Make sure your glue is gluing because we're going to add in those really cute cookies just to tie in that gingerbread theme, right? So make sure your hot glue gun's on. Or your glue pot. I'm sorry, we're approaching the end of the tutorial, and I just now mentioned it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Oh my goodness. That's adorable. That's adorable. I love him. Okay, so I didn't want to add too many things. I wanted this to be nice and simple. I just wanted to add a few cute little cookies, and this is perfect. So there's 5 cookies on here. We're going to shred them. We're going to cut all of these up at the base. Just get your nippers and cut these little guys off. And as you can see, there are 3 circles and 2 squares on mine. I'm pretty sure they're all the same. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing every other. So I'll do one square to one circle, and we're just gonna place them all around our little wreath. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cute. So we'll do like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Just to get it in our minds. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2 on the diagonals. So since I have the most of the circles, I'm gonna put that one at the top. Oh wait, I have 5. We're gonna off center it then. Off center it just a little bit. Oh my gosh, Court. Can you even do math? And we're just gonna place that into the mesh and the glue. So we're gonna off center. Sorry guys, I have 5. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's kind of like the same kind of distance. It doesn't have to be perfect. We do want to make sure though that we're making contact with that mesh as we're putting the cookies in. You want to make sure that you're gluing the cookies and making sure that that glue is hitting the mesh. Ooh! Oh my gosh, I just dumped glue. Ah! Let me get that off my pot. Oh, it's too late. Okay. Just put them every so many inches, making sure we are hitting mesh as we go. Don't burn yourself. Be very careful when working with hot glue, friends. Be very, very careful. All right, we're going to go this one. Go here. Hold on, I'm going to put that more up top. And down. Make sure you're making contact with that mesh. What is on there? I must have picked up something. I'll get that off after. Don't be OCD right now, Courtney. You're teaching. I'll get that off afterwards. I'm like, what did I lay this on? Okay, and then last one. Just adds a little cuteness, you know, not crazy, but just brings in that brown from the Gingy sign around. Just, oh my God, that is so cute. Oh, I love that. Just a little bit, right? Nothing crazy. I love her. Oh my goodness. She is so cute. So of course, now that we're finished, you're gonna need to clean up the back. And by doing that, just get your nippers and clean up those pipe cleaners and push them back into the wreath so your back looks really nice and beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love those little cookies are perfect. Perfect amount of just a little touch of fun. So you can purchase this kit at creekroad.net if you're interested. If they're all sold out, they do have a lot of fantastic similar items that would match this sign, okay? They also have other Gingy cookies in stock as well. Besides these, they have different shapes of them. So check them out, creekroad.net. Be sure you're using my code at checkout, OWL10, OWL10. OWL10. What is wrong with me today? I'm so sorry, guys. I hope you're laughing with me and not at me. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this kit. There's more coming. Like, subscribe to YouTube channel. And guys, I can't wait to craft with y'all again soon. Bye, everyone.